Okay, let's call this meeting the Haysville Planning Commission to order. First item of business is a roll call.
Blood.
Here.
Plummer.
Here.
Franken.
Here.
Azier.
Here.
Coleman.
Here.
Atkins.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Next item of business is a presentation and approval of minutes of May 11, 2023.
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes as presented. I second.
Motion second to approve as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Thank you. Under new business, we have a public hearing of the zoning code amendment definitions and zoning use chart. Protect the rights of all parties involved and in order to create an opportunity for everyone to speak their opinions and present information, the Haysville Planning Commission follows a specific procedure in reaching a decision. A copy is available by the door. Your attention to this procedure is appreciated. We now formally open the public hearing to consider the proposed text amendments to the zoning regulations for the city of Haysville. Staff, please present.
So you have in your packet the new zoning chart that we're going to. You guys had seen this when we went through the changes last month. We did color coordinate this with our zoning map, so the colors on the map coordinate with the uses. These are split up by residential, and then public and civic, commercial, and then industrial. We had talked about last time how some of these uses, the names would change. This coincides a lot with how Wichita looks at theirs. So now, instead of under each district having conditional uses not allowed and everything, it would now be on the chart. So if there's anything on the chart that you guys might have problems with, or something you see that you think you might want to change, now's the time to let me know. I don't know if anybody has anything with that. But in the text amendment, we went through a lot of this last time. There's some that we took out, got some other descriptions from Wichita. One that we added that I don't think that was in here before was short-term rental. We currently don't have any Airbnbs in Haysville that I know of, but that helps address that. We will be adding something into parking, but just in case we have something to address that, we did add that in. We moved the order of things around so that they match the chart here, and also the classification chart from least restrictive to most restrictive. So when you go through here, they're all in the same order. Trying to think what else we might have changed from last time to go over with you guys again. Does anybody have any questions from looking through this? Any concerns?
I do. Well, a while back I talked to you about the possibility of, like for apartment buildings or mobile home parks, having a safety room, or is this the time we would do that, or?
So I checked with other cities, or Jonathan did, and we couldn't find anybody else that made that requirement.
So it would be a first.
I don't think it would be in here. It would be more in either your building code,
Okay,
or possibly this subdivision, but I don't think it would be required in zoning, unless, Tim, you have a different idea in that.
Yeah, I
But-
think you're right. It
Yeah.
seems odd to put it with zoning.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I mean, because it would be a
building
building
code seems
spec.
like the right place if that's what we want to do, and I don't know if we have jurisdiction over that.
I mean, that would be, Public Works goes over that, with code,
Yeah.
with building permits and everything like that, but checking with other towns, nobody else had that. I think that's a preference, and if the
Did
builders.
they have a community safe room?
I don't remember anybody
I don't
mentioning
remember
that.
seeing any.
I mean, I know a lot of places do, the newer ones that are
Bigger
built.
developments.
Yeah, a lot of the older ones did not,
Right.
but, yeah, we did check into that, and
I know Welcome Home, that was one of the selling points for that, was that, I don't know if it's every home there, but every 2 or 3 homes, there is an in-ground tornado shelter
okay.
up there.
Yeah, that would be something, if I could pass on for the building, because that would be in building code. I don't think it would be appropriate to have it in zoning.
That's fine.
No, but now that I think about it, if, say a mobile home park comes in front of us, when would it need to come in front of us? Is it, because if it's a conditional use in a certain use, we could have the ability to put it on as a conditional use.
Yeah, we could that way.
But what are the instances where they could just put in a mobile home park without any of our input? There aren't any, are there?
I mean, if they were going through a zone change, obviously we could put a protective overlay or something of that and make that requirement if they were going through a zone change. If it was already zoned that, but if it was going through a zone change, then when we could put that protective overlay and make that requirement, just like we can for screening or anything like that. So that is one way.
I just think for multiple families, we have a duty to protect as many people as we can in our community, and before it even is thought of for a park or a multi-family dwelling apartment complex, I would feel better having 50 families living somewhere that had someplace to go.
Yeah, I mean, we can consider that next time if we have
Okay.
multifamily come up or something, that they at least have some type of shelter. I know it's been a big discussion in town for having place to go and
Right.
everything, so, yep, so it's just something to keep in mind if we have a zone change come before us. I mean, currently, right now, we don't have anything, so.
Okay. Individual homes, I mean, that's up to the homeowner. I'm not
Right.
concerned about that, but I just think that's a need we need to consider at least. I would like for everyone to consider at least.
Okay,
Then I have another one. On page 17, you've got laundromat, laundry or dry cleaners, laundry surface. You've got all that crossed out. And I did not get completely through all of this, but this doesn't mean we're not going to open the possibility for a laundromat to come in, does it?
now, that would be covered under, industrial,
Okay,
yeah, it would just be covered under either limited, find the right term. It would be covered under something else. So a lot of those are now gonna be kind of generalized under one term.
okay.
So the description, some of the descriptions, I know that laundromat one was one that we had 4 definitions for, or 5,
Yeah.
that we had cut down.
We don't have any property currently zoned as manufactured home
Just the one that's,
that's currently being used as that, but nothing else.
right.
So anything else would have to be a zone change that would come in front of us, we can discuss it on a
Okay.
case by case basis.
Okay.
It took me a while to figure out that there was another page to this chart,
To the what?
the chart.
Oh,
I was
I'm
looking at
sorry.
these two and looking for manufacturing housing when we got time.
Oh. Sorry, I should explain that.
Any other questions?
On that part. One thing I do want to cover, if nobody else has any questions as far as that. Under the historic district overlay, there is some changes that I don't think we discussed before, that the historic committee had reviewed and approved for changes back in February. So you'll see that there was 2 areas, and that's in the plat, those 2 properties right next to it that aren't actually owned by the city. It's on page 99. So the Masonic Edition and Lee's Edition, they're part of the plat, they're properties that are right next to it. It was being included in the historic overlay, but the city doesn't actually own those properties. Trying to tell them that they need to follow along with this when we don't own the
Yeah.
property, didn't make sense. There's a couple other things that they took out of there. Adding 14 days in like we have on other things. And then, I think that's the majority of it. And then also, for appeals on page, this would be for the Board of Zoning Appeals on page 121. We added that from when a decision is made by the planning and zoning administrator or staff, they have 14 days to file an appeal, so that it's stated that you only have so long. So, and that is all.
Thank you for doing all this.
Any other questions from anybody? Now is the time for any member of the public to speak. You have 5 minutes. If you're presenting good factual information, this time may be extended by vote. Is there any member of the public that wishes to speak? Seeing none, the public hearing to revise the city's zoning regulations is now closed. Public comment is now closed for commission action, and the floor is open to commissioners' comments. Anybody have any comments? Then I would entertain a motion from someone.
I'll make a motion to recommend approval of the, what is this?
Zone code.
Zoning
Zoning code
regulations.
text amendments as presented.
I would second.
I have a motion and a second to recommend approval as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? No old business or correspondence? No off agenda?
Off agenda, just, tonight is Fred's last night. I wanna thank him for being on
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Fred.
the commission, and
I've enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure getting to know all of you people. It's really been an experience. So I'm a little sad, but it's something I have to do.
Well, we appreciate your help. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 8.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
I have a motion and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you, everybody.